As much as I love my classes, I'm acutely aware of how restricted both I and my students feel in terms of communicating on a deeper level. Sometimes it's funny. We speak really slowly and use over-the-top body language to express our thoughts. Teaching on Kinmen, I've developed the enthusiasm of a game show host. But other times, our pantomimes seem more like an exercise in frustration. I once had a student stand over my desk trying to explain to me something upsetting that happened at her home that morning, a fact I later learned from her homeroom teacher. Of course, there's nothing I'd rather do than forge that kind of relationship with my students, the one where we could discuss our feelings, or at least discuss topics more stimulating than, what time did you go to bed? But for reasons beyond our control, this kind of verbal relationship is out of the question. That's why dance, the universal language, has become such a meaningful part of my daily routine here. It's through dance that I feel like I can finally collaborate with my students in a way that's significant and challenging for both parties to the encounter. We had this idea to organize a flash mob on Kinmen. We figured it would be fun to introduce this phenomenon to our small island, where we knew we could garner spectators and interest in a short amount of time. We also wanted to do more than just teach a dance class. We wanted to create a dance community within which students all across the island could work together towards a final goal. It's been a pleasure traveling to the various schools and meeting new students. Everyone seemed to enjoy the choreography element of the flash mob, but more than that, they were excited by the opportunity to take part in something that reached beyond their campus walls. Where language has failed us, dance has provided an outlet for creative self-expression and has served as an instrument for building connections.
As a student, I always enjoyed learning outside of the classroom. Now, as a new teacher, I strive to create a space for students to learn English with their minds and bodies, whether through swimming, dance, or flash mobbing in the local square with students from around the island. Having lived in a cross-cultural context for 5 months, I continue to realize how a healthy integration of verbal communication and bodily cues is crucial for effective communication. So, in the classroom, I want to teach my kids that learning English can be more than memorizing vocabulary, and that it can be a creative outlet. My thinking is that if we can have fun and let it all out while moving within foreign language, we'll not only ignite new communication skills, but also meet each other in a new realm. At my school's anniversary celebration in November, I was able to watch my students interact and move around outside of class through traditional drumming performances, contemporary dance, and sports contests. Arthur, a back row hooligan in the 4th grade, wowed me with his expressive drumming and inspired me to further incorporate music and movement into my teaching. Similarly, I've strengthened my relationship with my LET outside of school through aerobics class at the local university, where I practice my Chinese and express myself to a different beat. I hope that these teaching methods instill confidence within my students to communicate with whichever tools are most comfortable and natural for them.
While living in a foreign country with an unfamiliar language, it would have been easy to come home after school each day and retreat to my own English-speaking bubble within the Fulbright community. This would have required less effort and energy than racking my brain to use my limited Chinese to communicate with locals. But then I would have missed out on Kinmen's many cultural offerings, as well as the opportunity to meet the friendly people who call Kinmen home. I decided to involve myself in the community by registering for classes at the community college. Since my go-to phrases of "where's the bathroom" and "I would like a bowl of beef noodle soup" were of little use in class, I was forced to improve my Chinese communication skills. One reason that I joined a traditional Chinese dance class was to participate without needing to understand every word the teacher said. Dance is a universal language through which ideas and emotions can be expressed. I was able to develop relationships with some women in the class through our shared interest in expression through movement. Chinese dance also motivated me to learn more about the local culture. I look forward to sharing what I learned in this dance class with my future students in the States, just as I was able to share aspects of American culture through dance with my students in Kinmen.
In the fall, I switched schools and began working at Jinhu Elementary. Participating in the Kinmen Flash Mob has enabled me to continue a relationship with my former students. On weekends, I wake up early in the morning to meet with my former students whom, of their own accord, gather in the 6th grade classroom of the school campus to dance. I remember walking into the classroom at Zhongjang Elementary early in the morning and facing a classroom of excited, sleepy, bewildered, and intrigued sixth graders. I performed the dance for them, and some were immediately excited, and some were hesitant and skeptical. In the end, the entire classroom was learning the dance and enjoying themselves. The particular dance that I taught, the Skelewu, is a Nigerian dance currently circulating in the African media as well as internationally. Prior to coming here, I never would have imagined sharing my Nigerian American heritage through dance with students on Kinmen. Moreover, I never would have thought that teaching this dance would have strengthened our relationship. Dance is a wonderful medium because it tells a story without words. And through this experience, I have been able to teach my students not the steps of a dance routine, but about diversity.
The beautiful thing about dance is that you don't need words to communicate. At the beginning of the year, my Taiwanese colleagues were friendly and welcoming, but I was certainly aware of the barrier between us. My limited Chinese and their limited English restricted our communication. From September through November, all of the teachers at my school attended a weekly aerobics dance class together. In this environment, we all felt silly and out of our comfort zones, shaking our hips and doing the cha-cha, but it helped break the ice. Through these classes, I was able to get to know my coworkers in a space that felt less formal, and where I felt less conscious of the differences between us. As time went on, my coworkers started to reach out to me, inviting me to chat and relax over tea or dinner after school. The culmination of our aerobics class was a teacher performance at our school's 100th anniversary. It was quite the show, matching outfits and all. I felt like a real part of my school's family, like I was among friends. My relationships have continued to grow, and now teachers are more willing to help me in the classroom when I'm teaching alone, and are more open to trying to communicate with me in English. While the improvement in our relationship is obviously due to the increased comfort that grows with time, I really do credit our dance class for providing the platform upon which I've been able to cultivate these friendships.
My teaching experience in Kinmen has been an adventure. I didn't know what to expect in terms of the students' English skills, and I was nervous about teaching upper elementary. At that age, kids are sassy. The school year started off smoothly and has continued to be so. Forming a good relationship with my students is important to me, and I believe I was able to do that both in and out of class. In class, I've tried to teach through fun, dynamic, and cooperative activities. These classes offer me opportunities to get to know my students and for them to gain confidence. Of course, no class is perfect. Some students are shy while others are naughty. Connecting with these students can be difficult, especially since some classes have up to 20 students. That's why I enjoy time outside of class, such as lunch or extracurricular activities, when I can see my students in other environments and learn about their other talents. Most of my older students have become interested in English language and American culture, often through songs, movies, or music videos. Having seen how much my students enjoy music and dance, I knew that our dance project would be perfect for them. When Leah visited my school to teach the dance, many were both excited and nervous. Some of the dance moves were difficult, and the sassier students wanted to give up almost immediately, but I knew they just needed an extra push and more practice to realize their potential. We practiced again the next day, breaking down each part slowly so everyone could master the steps. Even though some students complained, class always ended in laughter and smiles. I enjoyed teaching the dance because it gave me another opportunity to connect with my students and help them overcome a challenge. I think they were excited to be in class with no pressure. They were also excited to learn the same dance as so many other students in Kinmen. All of their hard work finally came together in the final performance. Performing the flash mob in Shanghai bus station was exhilarating. Family and friends came to watch us all dance. Locals waiting for the bus were also pleasantly surprised. By channeling some students' more negative attitudes into a positive activity, I helped them realize that mixing dance and sass can only produce one thing: swag.